Hey everyone, so today video we're going to be doing another film location spot of the movie A Bronx Tale. On the left side of your screen, that is the address of this film location spot that we're walking to. So before we get started, we're walking to the film location spot to be on the left hand side. So before we get started, like, comment, and subscribe if you're new. We got more film location spots coming through. Now, we're going to be talking about what happened in the scene at this spot, as well as why did Robert De Niro chose this film location spot, and last but not least, what happened to it now? So let's get started. So, as you see where I have it circled, that is the building of where they had the scene. So on your right hand side. And now, what happened in the scene at this spot? So this is where Sonny and Closiano came out of the house, and they got into Sonny's car, and they were talking about, his life, family, friends, dating, mainly dating, of him dating outside his race. And Sonny was giving him tips, don't let anyone, control who you want to date, it's your life. Now, what other scenes that happen at this spot? Well, there's no other scenes that happen. If I'm correct, I think I'm 99.8% correct. This was the only scene that happened at this location. Now, why did Robert De Niro chose this spot, since Robert De Niro is the director of this movie? So the reason why Robert De Niro chose this spot is because if you haven't seen my last few film location spots of the Bronx Tale, pretty much everything was right near each other, so it's not only convenient, but also it just went well hand in hand with Sonny as a character. Sonny is a very simple mob guy. He doesn't like anything flashy. He just wants a simple place right near the neighborhood, so it went really well with the movie, as Robert De Niro said this. On top of that, it was a pretty decent amount of money that Robert De Niro had to pay to rent this out just for a day to film. So it went really, really well on how everything just lined up together. Now, how much was this when he rented it out? So I'm not really 100% sure, because I was able to talk to the son of the owner. So the owner used to own this during the time, and then he ended up selling it to his son. So now his son owned this building. And the son said that the father, I think he got like a couple of, maybe like $1,000 or something just for a day, which was awesome. But he didn't give me as much information as he can, because it's only a little bit that his dad told him. And I said to him, you don't have to asked him. I just wanted to give me a little bit of information, out of respect. I didn't want to be too nosy. So he just told me it was a couple of thousand. It was just for a day. That's simple. He's a nice guy to talk to. As for the people who were in there during the time that were renting it out, they were just out for the day, which was awesome. Didn't have to stay for longer than that, which was very nice of them to do that. What else? So then, as you see, what happened to it now, like I just said, the son took over the apartment building, and also, people are still living there. Some people are still living there from the past, others are new. So pretty much not a whole lot has changed. I would say like a little bit of the building from the movie is a little different, like the front door, some of the colors, some of them are little bits of stuff, change. But other than that, same old, which is awesome, because a lot of times when we do these film location spots, we tend to run into a big change, like the whole building's different, or something tore down, or whatever, but it's still here till this day, which is awesome. Now, in a few more minutes, I'm going to show you where, the whole scene lead you up to, which is going to be really dope, so stay tuned for that. Oh, on top of that, I would say this is that this film location spot of A Bronx Tale is taking place in Astoria, Queens, not in the Bronx. Yes, you would think A Bronx Tale is in the Bronx, but no, it was taking place in Astoria, Queens. Stay tuned later on. I'm going to go into more detail on a totally different video about why they chose Astoria, Queens instead of the Bronx, which I'll be going to Arthur Avenue, which is in the Bronx, that they were going to film A Bronx Tale, but they ended up not doing it. So now we're going to walk down the street. So if you remember in the scene when he backed up and he was just, backing up the whole time going down the street instead of, pulling out and going forward. So he went out and then he made a left right here. As you know, throughout the whole time in the scene, they were just talking about, collusion of relationship, all that stuff. And you may be wondering, were there any cars around here during the time of the scene? No, it was not. They were able to block off certain spots because they had in New York City, you have to rent out a specific area in the city. So they were able to rent out the block pretty much a good amount of money, which wasn't as much back then compared to now. And they were able to do the scene without no traffic, no problem, no people, no cars were in the way, which was awesome. Now, I'm going to be going to my right. Sorry if I'm walking a little bit slow, but I'm going to speed up in the video more likely, if that's going to be happening when I edit this. But as you see, it's going to be coming towards when they turned. They go right in front of this tree. And they park right there. So as I'm going to turn around, I'm going to show you this. So they come down, they go all the way down backward, they turn around, and then they pretty much go to the tree right here. And they park pretty much, I think, right next to it, if I'm correct, like where that white car is. I might be 100% right, maybe in between these two cars. And this is where all the mobsters were hanging out. If you guys haven't checked out this film location spot video that I did a few months ago, go check it out. I'll put it up at the top of the screen. And guys, this was the film location spot of Sonny's home. If you guys would like me to do any other film location spots you recommend down below, comment down below any other movies, TV shows, etc. And guys, I'll see you in the next video. Peace.